Timeless reading for Scorpio, starting with the card Death, followed by Goblin, Sun, Healer, Maiden, and Letter. And when I looked at the Death and the Goblin card, I already felt immediately some kind of things that this combination of the two cards is about. And first it might look very negative, Death and Goblin, but it's not negative. Like, there is a slight negative component to it, but it is, not your problem. It used to be your problem, but it's not your problem anymore. And I will get into it later. I was looking over to the next card with the Sun, the Healer, and the Maiden, and my attention went to the Healer and the Maiden's eye. Like, looking back at the Middle Ages, like the Healer and the Maiden, they might have been some more kind of suppressed people. Not the proudest kind of persons, I don't know. But today, even though the drawing on the card has not changed, sometimes the expression in the face still varies. And the way I look at the Healer right now and the Maiden, like, they have something in their eyes, like there's something bold in their eyes, and there is a glow in their eyes, there's hope in their eyes, there is pride, there is cunning. I don't mean devilish, manipulative kind of cunning. I mean some kind of cunning that you need to survive in the world, especially in the Middle Ages, when certain rules didn't exist. There is also power in their eyes. And I felt like I will call this reading, like, this is the topic of the reading. Like, there's hope for the suppressed ones. And now we'll jump back into the first two cards and what I immediately thought when I looked at them. The Death card represents you and your energy. Like, you're not literally physically dying, but you're emotionally and mentally dying, especially toward a specific person. And on one hand, yes, this goblin represents the person that you are utterly dying towards to. You will just become a stone wall. For some of you, this goblin represents a type of person, several people. And even more important, what I was getting here is that goblin also represents you, your inner asshole, a justified kind of asshole. It's not your ego. Your ego might actually be something that has been in the way for a long time. If you have this kind of ego where you want to please people, where you want to always be nice and fair, and you always want to be forgiving and all of this, this might have been a problem of your ego for a long time. I don't want to be the goblin person. I'm not like that. But if there's a terrible goblin in front of you, I think, like, you have the right to become or to behave like a goblin. You don't have to become a goblin, but this is your protection. This is your security guard, inner goblin. You need to let him out sometimes. And you do not have to become unfair or evil. Sometimes you have to protect yourself. Sometimes you have to defend yourself. And if it's not regarding a situation where you have to defend or protect yourself, it could also be like being shy or having a stick how do you say that in English? In German, there's some kind of saying like having some kind of stick stuck up your ass. I think in English you say that too. Like being poshy or not letting your inner freak out, not losing control. Like you don't have to lose control going so far that you become, like you lose everything, you just become crazy, you become nuts, you become drug addicted and homeless. I don't know. Not, just sometimes letting something out. Or just laughing out loud in public, like you might feel ashamed of that. And I feel like it's time to release something here, still in an appropriate manner. There's something related to shame, morality, fear, conditioning, your inner Hulk. It could even be as simple as going outside without being properly styled, going outside in your pajamas, just taking out the trash inside of your pajamas, not caring if the neighbors will see you. I mean, if you have your own house, it's not that tragic, but if you live in a house where several families live inside, and you have to go to some kind of shared public garden to take out the trash, then it's awkward to walk around in your pajama, but it will not kill you. Something like that. Like you don't have to be unnecessarily harmful or hurting people. Only if there's someone who is very dangerous to you. There's something about letting your inner goblin out. And it will bring huge relief. The sun does not only bring warmth, happiness, life, transcendence. The sun is also hot. The sun is burning, and the sun is, in this image here, smiling in a very self-satisfied way. But it's a healthy kind of self-satisfaction. It's not this kind of egoic kind of satisfaction. It's a healthy ego. It's a healthy inner goblin. That's just sometimes necessary. You have been suppressed by several people. That's why you caged your inner goblin. As soon as you let it out of the cage and you let it act as your security guard, you will find freedom and power. That's what the sun represents as well. It represents power. The healer and the maiden might represent different aspects of your personality. A younger version of you and an older version of you. Depending on how old you are, one of them is your future and the other one the past. Or one of them is your current age, the other one is past or future. And it tells me that you will heal. So this is where the reading turns spiritual. You will heal your future in this moment. When you let that inner goblin out, when you start to shine like the sun, release your own inner power and use it. It will radiate through your whole body and your eyes, and people will see that, even if they don't understand it, even if they are not spiritual or they don't believe in spirituality, they will somehow feel it without comprehending it. So sorry, my phone shut off. So people will see and feel this radiance even if they do not understand it or the spiritual background of it. There is a document here, the letter. It can literally be a letter, it can be a message, it can be an official letter or a private letter. It can be a result of this change within yourself. If you let your inner freak out, you might immediately get into trouble with the law. Just kidding. I said earlier that you will let it out in some kind of healthy way or acceptable way. Or not, I don't know. I don't feel like this letter is a bad thing here. It's more like something that had been tied up. It might either be something that you have completely forgotten about. It might not even be related to the previous situation here. It actually feels like it's just, somehow in the corner somewhere where all of this is happening, you completely forgot about one thing here. Or you remembered, but you couldn't open something. Like you wanted to know something, you wanted to read something or to find out something, but it wasn't possible. But it will be possible soon as you leave that kind of shyness behind, and as soon as you stop suppressing yourself, suppressing your inner goblin, suppressing your inner power, suppressing or allowing others to suppress you. If this is not a message or a letter or some kind of other document, then it could also represent a memory. Maybe oh my God, in 2012 there was something like that, but I can't remember it anymore and I can't find any documents about it or photographs about it. I wish I could remember how this and that went, or what was this person's name again. Something is just tied up, like this rolled up letter. But what was tied up will be opened. And if we take it literally, there's just a part of the letter being shown. Another part is still rolled up. I don't know, maybe that means something. At the bottom of the deck, we have the river. And it speaks to me of travel. Traveling overseas. I'm gonna leave it here. Thank you for watching.